we're gonna get it empty. It'll be about a minute. What is up, guys? Welcome back to Nitro Union, and I hope you guys had a great holiday, great Thanksgiving, and hopefully we're able to spend some time with family, and if not, just I hope you're well at least. And man, it's been a busy couple weeks. We got back from Georgia, tried to catch up, played a catch up for a couple days after that, and then it was Thanksgiving, and did all the family stuff and all that good stuff. And then the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, is a swap meet just about an hour away from here at Boston's Racing in Independence, Louisiana. And so we had to go down there. We go down there every single year, so that's a 2-day deal. So did that, wheeled and dealed down there, had a good time, came back, took a day to rest, and now we're back on the Booger. So we're just kind of making a little bit of progress on it, getting the fuel system and everything done. And we found several different issues with it. Obviously, the carburetor, which we kind of expected, it worked well enough to crank up, but it wouldn't idle at all whenever we first fired it up. So we pulled it off and went through it. We had some upgraded quick fuel bowls. We just stuck those on there and just got it cleaned out good and everything and put back on there. And we believe we may be having an issue with the little regulator. That was an old regulator we had laying around, and right now it seems to be wanting to flood, so we're going to try to figure that out. I actually just got a new regulator coming. Those are pretty inexpensive, but we're trying not to spend a ton of money on this thing, just use what we got around the shop. And we had that Holly Blue pump or a Holly Blue pump sitting around, so Dad's actually about to go through it right now, make sure it's all good, and see if it needs anything. We're going to get it mounted back here, and starting to get these lines ran up to the front and lines ran underneath the bottom, so we'll have fuel from the fuel pump. And then I'm going to get this thing wired up, so I got to add a couple switches, 2 switches on the switch panel, one for the fuel pump. Just going to add them in there with those others. 1 switch for the fuel pump and 1 switch for the once we get the water pump and the fan, we'll need some power for it. So anyway, we're just getting that stuff done. I wanted to go through this little pump. This one's working, but they're known to give problems, even though they seem to be working. So you can pull that one apart.
Hey, what's happening? Yeah, it's working, but we don't know if it's working. It's a little, what's that little blue pump?
Yeah, Holly Blue.
It's probably one of the most common pumps everybody's run across, and I'm sure most of you know, but I thought I'd show some of you guys anyway, in case you hadn't ever run across this. You come back in the springtime or whenever it's been sitting a while, and what these pumps are famous about doing, you got your little seal right there, but they have a little vanes inside of this rotor. This works off of the motor. What it does, it just spins, and you see the little vanes as they swing out. That's what pumps. But if it's set up over any period of time and the fuel dries up, these vanes will stick down inside of there, and you might only be running, and that's what you have. It'll be up in there like this. It's not wanting that right. But you can just imagine then the little vein stuck inside of that little round piece. It's just cavitating, not doing anything.
Yeah.
Well, if you got 1 or 2 of them that slips out there, you hadn't even got half of your pump working.
Yeah.
And there's no way, until you just visually inspect it, because they just swing out by gravity.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be moving fuel, but
yeah, you may only have one of those that's actually working.
Yeah.
And these other ones will be corroded and stuck up inside of there from your fuel drying out or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
especially if you run any ethanol type gas through it.
So it's it's a good idea. You see how simple it was. Just take it apart and clean them or whatever, and make sure. This one looks pretty decent.
Yeah, it does actually look pretty good.
Because I've seen them before. Just be corroded and a little, just spinning. You hear the pump running, but it ain't pumping nothing. That'd be the only problem. Just take the little veins out and clean them, and with some 2000 grit paper, polish them, put them back in there, good to go.
Yeah.
Well, you saw the vein. This is your inlet. going in the pump right there. It's also got a little screen filter. And I pulled it up out there and you can see look at the crap on it.
Dang.
So the screen's doing its job.
Yeah.
Just glad we caught it before but that goes in there and they just eat the little pump up. So
yeah.
I mean, it's worth taking it. You see how simple it is. It's worth taking them apart and cleaning them and checking them and everything.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we get that pump going and get it mounted up back here, and just trying to, it's kind of limited space back there to how we got everything set up, so we're just going to try to get it all done, and I'm going to do some wiring today, and then we'll, once we get all that stuff done, then we're going to try to just fire her up and see if she'll just run better, at least idle and, you know, kind of do what it's supposed to do, and then we can go from there, start tuning on a little bit more, and we're talking about maybe at some point here soon, maybe trying to take her to the track and see what she'll do. So, but anyway, stay tuned, guys, and we're gonna jump on it.
Yeah, I think I like it like that.
What are y'all doing?
You go back what you were doing. This is roll up stuff.
We're hungry.
Is that bacon?
That looks almost done to me.
No, we don't get it'll be about a minute.
Damn, throw me a piece in there. I'll be done what I'm doing in just a minute. I got a whole pack of bacon right here. I don't even know why they're being stingy. What is up, guys? We're out here at Clausen Racing. This is the little version of the swap meet. So this one happens a few times a year, and this is always the big one. This is the Black Friday event, and so this is always the biggest one they have. It's a completely different scale from last week's event, Moultrie, Georgia. Georgia is huge. This is small. There usually be 20 or 30 vendors here, but it's a little more intense, and a lot of times, honestly, we'll do better at this one than we do at the other one, either buying or selling. A lot of times buying here. There's more circle track stuff and stuff like that, but it's always a good time because we got a lot of buddies that come down here, and then we like to just mess around back and forth and stuff like that. So yeah, guys, we're gonna run through this little thing real quick and see how it goes. What you think about this little swap meet compared to last weekend?
It's little.
Yeah.
I got a lot of cool stuff here, though. That's all that matters. It don't take but one truckload of stuff to make your day if you find what you need.
Yeah, that's the thing, really. We probably usually end up finding as much or more stuff here than we do at a big swap meet like that. So.
Yeah, it don't take us for a few minutes to get down here, and we can't not come, you know. So.
Yeah, you never know what might show up. We've found some really cool stuff at this little swap meet before. So
these guys are pulling in off the road, and there'll be people hanging on the bumper, riding in to dig in the back of their trucks. So
yeah, sure enough. All right, guys, so we got the fuel system done. The pump is mounted, good filter. Everything's run. Don't see any major leaks at the moment. The only thing left to do is he's got these straps fabricated up, so all we got to do is find bolts and put in them. And all that's good. Got the fuel pump wired up on a switch and everything. And got the little regulator, main line, and we got two separate lines going in the carb. Rebuilt the carb. It's still kind of wanting to flood a little bit, but I think he's about got it adjusted. We had these bowls that we had bought at the swap meet. They're brand new quick fuel bowls already set up and everything, so we just stuck those on there because the old one was so crusty. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Man, that thing sounds pretty killer, doesn't it? For a big block that we pulled out of a barn less than a month ago, and now it's got to that point, and man, she idles and she's sounding pretty freaking good if you ask me. But it'll only get better. We hadn't even set the timing yet. It's just all set by ear and just playing around with the carburetor and stuff like that. And maybe next week might see a little Mexico dyno action or something like that. So we'll see what happens, but we're gonna try to keep trucking along on this thing. We still gotta get the radiator and all that stuff done, but thank you guys for ordering merch. Had lots of good support on that, and hope you guys had a good holiday, and we'll see you on the next one.